Minutes before 9 o'clock, and right now, delighted to have, anytime we have an author in the studio, that's a great thing, because reading is so, oh my gosh, I just love to do that. Any new book. This is Ashley Davis, author, living in North Carolina now.
That is correct.
Where in North Carolina?
So I live in Waxhaw, Marvin, just south of Charlotte. So I grew up in North Carolina, so I grew up in Shelby, so I've been here for,
I'm from Shelby as well.
Are you really? Have some conversations
we
after the show.
Will do that. We will do that, because we want to talk about this wonderful book that Ashley is out now. It's called A Life Through Letters, An Aging Father's Legacy and a Son's Revelation, The Birth of a Movement. Tell us, the story behind how this book became a book is fascinating to me, Ashley. What happened?
Yeah, so my father, before he passed away in 1997, had written, he had a lot of health problems. So he wrote a series of letters that really served as his memoir in letter form to his parents, to God, to his children, to his college roommate, to people he never met that he had some regret about not going to. There's a letter called The Stone Man. So I'd had those letters for 20 years and used them as a guidepost and would share them with people over the years. And I just decided about 3 years ago that I was going to turn it into a book. And so I put some framework around those letters. And the 4 chapters are empathy, altruism, fellowship, and devotion. And those are the 4 things that I learned most from my father. So.
And I think it's important to note, too, that these are handwritten or typed letters. They're not done on a computer.
Correct.
It's not a text. It's not an email. And what have you found as far as the way we are today versus when your dad was doing this?
So my dad, he actually sat down. Part of his health problems is he'd lost an arm to diabetes, so he had one hand. So he actually typed these letters with the eraser end of a pencil for the most part on a typewriter. But I think what we found, we were talking about this before the show, is in today's technological age, we use texting and direct messages and email, and that's great for information, but they have no longevity. When it comes to a handwritten or even a typed letter with a signature, people keep that. They save them. You mentioned that a minute ago, your grandparents' letters. They mean something over time, and you can go back to that, and when you see that handwriting, you remember your grandparents, and you remember walking into their room or playing on their farm or whatever that experience might be.
And in today's world, there aren't as many people writing these handwritten letters. I think it's fascinating what you said about what happened in New York.
Yeah, so ironically enough, I promoted the book a lot on Instagram, and somebody in New York found me, and it was the New York City Letter Writers Society. And I had no idea they existed, and didn't know what they were all about, but I went to New York City, I went down to the Lower West Side, and I found this amazing, eclectic group of young 20 and 30-somethings who were reviving the art of letter writing and really turning the art of the letter into a work of art with ink stamps and calligraphy and drawings on the envelope before you even open it up and get to the letter. So it's great to see our society coming back, and I really think, but that age group particularly, they're the most connected ever in the history of mankind, but I think they feel less connected to other people and fellow humans than ever before, and I think this is their attempt to kind of get back to that.
All right, where's the book available?
So the book's available. I love local bookstores, so it's at Park Road Books.
Yes.
And it's at Paper Skyscraper on East Boulevard. So,
oh my gosh.
So not only can you go in and get your book, you can get some stationery, go home, read the book, write a letter, which is the whole point of this and the birth of the movement.
Oh my God, and I can tell you what, with Father's Day coming up, this book would make a wonderful gift, and write a letter along with it to your father.
Absolutely. You can go to my website too, alifethroughletters.com. Email me if you can't get one before the weekend. I'll meet you in Charlotte. I'll sign it for you.
Alifethroughletters.com there. Ashley Davis, thank you so much. It's great having you here.
Absolutely.
I think this is just such a wonderful idea. We need to be reading more anyhow, and we need to be writing more. It's 8:46, 14 minutes now before 9 o'clock.